Yo, what up YouTube? It's your boy Drew, and as always, this is the next installation of games and things. The first thing I want to touch on right quick is HDCP, or less commonly known, high bandwidth digital content protection. Basically what HDCP is in a nutshell, it's a countermeasure put on consoles to stop people from using video capture devices from going on their system and basically ripping copyrighted material from their systems, i.e. Netflix, Hulu, any sports application you might have, stuff like that. Now, the only gamers that HDCP affects are those who use their PlayStation to stream videos to Twitch TV or some other video game streaming site, or YouTube commentators. Now, if you notice, I said PS3 users because the PS3 is the only system, no matter what's coming out the back of your PS3 through that HDMI port, it's encrypted with HDCP. Which means for all the PS3 users who want to use HD capture device, you'd have to use your component cables or some kind of special converter which allows you to use your HDMI cables. And while there are workarounds of the HDCP on PS3, it's a hassle. You have to buy extra parts. You gotta find loopholes basically in order to capture game footage. Now, if you take a close look at the picture, there is no component jacks on the back of the PS4 from any images we've been getting so far. So for a while, people were kind of spazzing out because they were like, well, either PlayStation's done away with the components, which would be a bad thing because I know everybody doesn't have an HDMI enabled television, and they're just going strictly with HDMI, which would be a horrible idea. Or the component jack is there and we just don't see it. Turns out that the component jack is there, we just don't see it, or this is just, these are just renditions of what the PlayStation 4 would look like. Obviously, nobody has a no shit PlayStation 4 in their hand, but from what I can tell, the auxiliary jack will actually double for the PlayStation Eye and the component cables. Even after all that, I was still kind of hopeful that PlayStation had toned down on some of their HDCP restrictions, but Digital Foundry had tweeted a couple of weeks ago that even on their dev kits, there was HDCP restrictions on the dev kits. So, I mean, if there was restrictions on the dev kits, more than likely there'll be restrictions on the console itself. But it's yet to be seen. Next up, 2K14. I know iPod King Carter and Shakedown 2012, they were able to actually go down to 2K Studios in San Francisco and actually play the game. While 2K kind of gave them a hush order, they aren't allowed to talk about the game at all or anything they've seen, anything they've changed. I'm really excited about this game. Soon as anything comes out, I will be sure to post it to this channel ASAP. More bad news for the PlayStation Vita. So Sony's come out and said basically that the Vita won't be able to do all the stuff we thought it was going to be able to do. It has the potential to, but it's up to the devs whether or not they're going to have the Vita, the hands-on remote play or the basically using the Vita as a remote control. Now, like I said, it has the potential to, so I'm not giving up on it completely, but it's up to the devs. I mean, a lot of these games are in the end of stages, getting ready to come out for the PlayStation 4, so it's highly doubtly that they're going to go back in the lab, do all this script and stuff to make it enabled for the PS Vita. So the next batch of games, maybe next year, early next year, I'm looking forward to it. If not by then, I'm just gonna call the Vita a flop. I'm kind of pissed. I bought one right now. I mean, like I said, I see the potential in it. By itself, it's an awesome console. I keep calling it a console. It's an awesome handheld by itself. As far as it interacting with the PS3, it's minuscule at best. PS4, I think it's gonna be a lot better. But for the first batch of games, I really don't see it having that big of an impact, and I really think the PS4 is supposed to be like the saving grace for the PS Vita. I mean, they came out on E3 talking about the Vita is going to be such a companion for the PS4, and like we've heard all this before, and you know what I'm saying? It's like, how many times can you smack me before I just leave? You know what I'm saying? So I just wish Sony would stop making empty promises for the Vita. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's starting to get annoying. I know they're not trying to bite the bullet and just call it a flop, because I'm pretty sure they spent millions and millions and millions of dollars invested into this system, and I've spent $200 on it. So I mean, it is what it is, but something's got to give. And with that, I'm wrapping up this episode of Games and Things. Make sure you molest that like button. Please comment, subscribe if you like. Peace out.